stretched too thin, giving everything away, ain't no way to win. Every bridge needs pillars, every house needs walls. Without a little structure, the whole thing falls. No, that's not anger. No, that's not fear. It's knowing who I am and making myself clear. Boundaries, they're not the crime. They're the fence that protects what's mine. Strong roots grow when the line is drawn. That's how respect keeps carrying on. Boundaries, standing tall. Better for one, better for all. No shame, no guilt, no apology. Healthy limits build society. How the pressure comes just as concern when some people hate the lessons that they need to learn. Why won't you bend? Why won't you cave? Because self-respect is something worth trying to save. A good man knows when to help and when to say no. Knows what to nurture and what to let go. Not every demand deserves a reply. Not every accusation deserves to occupy the mind. No, that's not selfish. No, that's not pride. It's keeping the balance with nothing left to hide. Boundaries, they're not the crime. They're the fence that protects what's mine. Strong roots grow when the line is drawn. That's how respect keeps carrying on. Boundaries, standing tall. Better for one, better for all. No shame, no guilt, no apology. Healthy limits build society. Respect runs both directions. That's the truth we tend to miss. Real connection isn't control. It's freedom that coexists. The strongest hands aren't always given until they're empty and undone. The strongest hands know where the limit is and still reach out when the time is right. Boundaries, clear and bright, guiding every healthy life. Men who know where they belong, build communities stable and strong. Boundaries, hear the call. Better for one, better for all. Mutual respect is the remedy. Healthy limits build society. Draw the line, stand your ground. That's where real respect is found. Not a wall, not a divide, just wisdom standing by your side.
That was another banger by Evil Eddie. Please check him out. Please check out his YouTube channel. Great, decent song. I mean, great songs. But yeah, all music or majority of the music is by this amazing creator. So please check him out. All right. So welcome to Saturday night live stream. Hope you guys had a good week. Hope you guys had a good week. Hope you guys had a good weekend. All right. Tomorrow, all right. I'm a big MMA, well, big UFC fan. I'm a big UFC fan. So, I don't want to say any certain things, but join the Discord. I want to hopefully stream tomorrow's fight, right, on Discord. I watch long. I'm not gonna try to say anything right, crazy, but please join the Discord, right? I'm gonna see if I can stream it on Discord, on my Discord, just to watch along with them, with the crew, with a whole bunch of buddies and stuff. Right, we'll watch it, we'll react to it, we'll have some fun. So yes, tomorrow, if everything goes right, I could stream, the fight on my Discord. But yeah, I have some interesting videos, so let's get started. All right, let's get started with some TikTok videos, okay? Okay, let's check this one out. This one is a long one, right? It's a 7-minute video, which is a long one. So I'm going to react to it while watching it.
I just got off the phone with my dad to break the news to him that I'm unemployed because I got laid off yesterday. And it was a much shorter phone call than I expected, probably less than an hour. I honestly thought it would be at least over an hour. But as soon as I told him, he just started wailing. And he kind of knew, like, he said he saw it coming because just like from things I've told him, I mean, it was kind of to be expected. And he was upset at me. And he was like talking about how he was planning this trip in October back to China, but then now he can't go because he has no choice. Like, I only have so much savings that if I can't find a job by then and stuff, he's gonna have to cancel his trip because he'll have to help me pay for like my apartment and other living expenses.
Why? You are an adult. You are a full-grown adult. It is your fault that you lost your job, not his fault. The best he could do is fine. You leave your place, right? If you can't pay for your, if you can't pay, I mean, like this is the thing where I think at the very least, right? Um, go back to live with your parents, right? At the very least. Why that is such a stupid decision for him to pay for a place that he's not living at. I would say fine, just go back home then, right? Go back to the parents' home. That's it. Paying for a living? Why would the hell you would do that? No, if he's doing that, right? It's on him, right? He don't need to cancel his trip because of her actions. For whatever reason. I don't know if she's gonna say why she got fired, right? Why she got laid off. I don't know. I don't know what kind of job she has, right? But it's not his fault. He doesn't have to pay for her living. He doesn't. At the very least, she could just go back home. Okay. Or I think that's the best case scenario in the very least. But here's the thing where you know, this is a problem where maybe you have to cut down expenses, right? Cut down expenses, not spend anything frugal, right? Everything goes either bills or rent, right? And a little bit of food, right? You got to suffer through it. It's your life. You're an adult. You're a full grown adult. Okay. Uh, but at the very least, I think Asian parents will probably let you come back home.
And how he thinks it could be like up to a year where I don't find a job. And I don't know, it was just a lot of emotions from on his end. I think going into it, I kind of like numbed myself. I got the news yesterday morning, and then the whole day I called like multiple people, and I didn't really have much emotion. But then at the very end of the day, like when I was doing my skincare about to go to bed, I felt like a sudden wave of emotions that I started tearing up.
You know, I do want to say this, right? I see some videos. I've seen some videos of like, let's say people saying, "Oh my God, we can't survive on 100K a year." It's like paycheck to paycheck. People who I'm not saying that yes, living is definitely expensive, right? It's not cheap. It's not cheap. But we have a problem that we're not talking about how we're not being truthful. Okay? Yes, I agree. It's not cheap. But the problem is isn't it's not because it's not just because it's not cheap. I think it's because we don't live frugally. We want luxuries, right? Not I mean not complete you know, full blown luxuries, but we want a bit of luxuries. So, like I'm saying, skincare. That's a luxury. That's a luxury. I'm not saying, but definitely now you cut it off, right? Sorry, best skincare you have is soap and water, right? Or just water, right? I mean, you should have soap. I mean, like it's cleanliness, but soap and water. That is the best skincare you have. That's the best skincare you're going to afford. People always say like, oh, you know what? We're going on trips, right? I need a vacation. I need to go on a cruise. When what? Are you kidding me? You make 45K a year. You're not gonna go on cruises. No cruises for you. I'm sorry. You gotta budget. You gotta save. You gotta invest that money. You're going to have to do that for years. No cruises. No vacations. 4 years. I'm sorry. You're going to have to sacrifice because at the end of the day, you are an adult. You are going to have to sacrifice, I don't know, 2 pie, right? Sacrifice going to eat at Whole Foods. Big Bars, what is up, my brother? What is up? Thank you for being here. Hope you're having a good weekend. You're gonna have to sacrifice shit. I don't know what to say. Okay, either eat at Audi's or buy food at Audi's. No more skincare, just soap and water. Right? No more vacations. No more eating out.
But then I was like, I need to wake up early tomorrow because I still have all these things that all this shit I need to do. And I want to like go to the gym in the morning. I don't want to just bed rot and
gym out of the way. I mean, I don't know any free gyms out there. Stop paying for gym. You want to exercise? Go running. Just go running. Right? Go running. Come home. Do some I don't know. Whatever exercise you can do at home. Cut out. This is the thing. See, we don't talk about this, right? People who say I live paycheck to paycheck. If you look at their life, right? Just like the things that I look at, the Caleb Hammer thing, okay? Cost to be a boss. And that is true. That is true. But it's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice, right? No one talks about it. You see, we a lot of us watch the Caleb Hammer thing. They're buying like fast food. They're buying subscriptions, all these stuff, right? Even though they're living paycheck to paycheck, if that. When you cut out all these shit, no more gym membership, that's out. No more skincare, that's out.
be sad. And so I like let myself cry for 5 minutes and I just like went to bed. And I thought if my dad was more empathetic, I think I would have teared up, but because he was kind of like verbally accosting me, not to say like I did anything great because like I no longer have a job, but I was telling him like the best I could do right now is job hunt, and I already booked my trip for like Asia in a couple weeks, so I can't cancel that. I'm gonna have to go. But when I come back, it's like this.
Why can't you cancel it? Did you say
Great because like I no longer have a job, but I was telling him like the best I could do right now is job hunt, and I already booked my trip for like Asia in a couple.
Now, I do know that there's certain trips that are non-refundable. But here's the thing where I'm not talking about the thing that you have to cancel your trip, which I don't know if does the father have a refundable trip? But here's the thing, right? With modern day adults, right? Young adults. Why are you going on a trip? How long have you been working at this place? You already book a trip? Organic. What is up, my brother? What is up? Are you kidding me? You already book a trip? How long have you been working this place? You look like you're in your early 20s. Have you been working this place for like 5 years? Booking a trip already? This is the problem. Shouldn't you have been working there like for a long time, budgeting, saving, investing your money? Nah, you didn't do that, right? Most likely she worked here for not that long. She worked at this place for not that long. And she booked a trip, right? She spent her money on a trip. And now she doesn't have much money left because she probably thought, oh, I'm probably going to still have a job. But now that she was inept and stupid, right? Financially irresponsible, now she put that burden on her father, right? Yeah. I mean, the fall of social media just shows the foolishness of people, right? The foolishness of people. You wonder why there was during a time, right? During a time, it was you were at the father's house to your husband's house. There was a time where women didn't have bank accounts or credit cards. Guess why? Why? Not because men didn't allow women to have it. Because honestly, Exhibit A, right? Where women can't, I think in general, I'm not saying all women, right? I think in general, women have a hard time handling, right? Handling the difficulties of life. Women love the luxuries of life, right? Women love the happiness of life. Women don't love, or women have a hard time handling, right? The difficulties of life. They do. Right? You see how women go about life, right? Like liberal women, you see how they go about life because they want to change life, or they're deluded about life. Okay? The hardships of life. Here's a woman, okay? Here's a young woman. Instead of focusing on working hard, right? Sacrifice your youth, push back joys, right? Focus on working hard, budgeting, saving, investing your money, working those years. Instead of doing that, you plan to have fun, right? Do your Asian trip.
Couple weeks, so I can't cancel that. I'm gonna have to go. But when I come back, it's like, this is the best I can do. And I was trying to, the reason I called him was to break the news, number one, and number two, to figure out like a next step plan on how like we were gonna cover the bills.
We're gonna cover the bills? He's covering his bills. No. How we're gonna cover your bills? How he is gonna cover your bills? What happened to the strong, independent women? Like, I see this more and more of these, right? Yes, I'm seeing more and more of these where it's like, at the end of the day, you still depend on a man. You're still dependent on. This is the problem, right? We constantly think about the 10% of women, right? The 1% of women that are doing great in life, and then we think all women are like that. No, I'm sorry. Majority of women are like this. Majority of women are like this right here. Right? Still asking for a handout from your father. Still asking for help from your father. You might as well get fucking married. Right? You might as well have gotten married when you were in college. Or, I don't know if she even went. She probably did, right? You might as well have gotten married.
And like, to be honest, I don't know if my family is the only one, but I feel like a lot of Asian parents are so secretive about how much savings they have. And I told my dad, like, this is the time. Like, if we're really having trouble and...
Who's we? You are the one who's having trouble. Secretive savings because of fucking you, right? They're secret about savings because of you. It's like you're literally mooching off of them. You are adult now. You went to school. You picked your own job. You decided not to find a man, right? You want to be a strong, independent woman. It is you. It is 100% you. Girl, it's like, seriously, are you an adult or are you a child? It's not we have to handle this. It's not we have to pay bills. No. You're actually forcing him to pay bills, or you are using his weakness, right? His weakness, his love for you, to share your burden. What the fuck is that?
Like, there's still all these bills we need to cover. Got to tap into the savings, and he
got to tap into the savings. Unbelievable! It's like, are you kidding me? She's a loser. I swear to God, I've said this before. I swear to God, right? If women were men, I believe the majority of women that turn into men would have been incels, would be incels. The majority of women that if women were men, they would be incels. They are losers. Do you hear what this loser is talking about? Like, oh my God, we need to pay my bills, right? We need to tap into our savings for my bills. And you wonder why men say, get a husband. At least he's Zyrax. What is up, my sister?
Was just like yelling at me and saying how savings are like, once you use it, it's gonna be gone, and it's like money to not be touched. But then I'm like, why would you have all that money sitting there if you're never gonna use it? So I don't.
You use it, right, in emergencies. Your bills is not their emergency. You use it for retirement. Your bills are not their retirement. This is funny, right? This is funny where in certain cases, right, we get the detractors who say, oh my God, parents that, rely on their children as retirements are terrible. I don't disagree. But children that rely on their parents as a safety net, we don't talk about that, right? This is a full-grown adult still using her parents as a safety net, still using her father as a safety net. Bitch, you chose to leave the house. You chose to get your college degree. I'm assuming these things. That's why I'm talking in general. You chose to get a college degree. You chose to leave the house. You chose, right, to probably most likely not follow the family business. You chose not to find a husband in school. You chose to not find a husband right now. Hell, I'll marry you off right now. You right? You want someone to take care of your bills? I'll find a man for you. You want that? Instead of relying on your fucking father, this is the problem. If parents can't rely on their children as retirement, which is cool, right? Which that is acceptable, then they need to rely on them fucking selves, right? Parents need to rely on themselves. So if they need to rely on themselves, how can they rely on themselves when their money has to go to you now? Right? The only time parents are responsible for you is once you're adult. That's it, right? Hell, we see this in the animal kingdom, right? Once you're standing, you're on your own, right? You're shit out of luck. Only us humans think that, oh my God, parents should still be responsible for you after you leave the house. Fuck that shit, right? That is out of love, right? That is out of individual love. That is to the parent's discretion. I do not hold a parent accountable or, responsible for grown-ass kids. If you are a grown-ass adult, whatever happens to you after that happens to you. Laughing man, what is up?
I don't even know like how much there is, and if it really is as bad as he's making it seem, then the situation is really bad. But I'll have to call my mom later. I told my dad not to tell my mom because he's like, did you tell your mom yet? I'm like, no, because my mom is working right now. My dad has work in the afternoon, like he starts in the afternoon. So then I called him around noontime, and
make it, guys. Yeah. Like seriously, she's gonna become a dependent. She's dependent right now. Literally talking about her father having to pay her bills, her parents having to pay her bills. At least if you make a guy suffer, at least he gets some booty for it, right? At the very least, right? At the very least, he might get some booty for it. Maybe a cooked meal or two, right? At the very least. What are the parents getting? What are your parents getting out of helping you out? What are they getting out of it? Your unconditional love? Great. That's great. That helps them in retirement, right? They get your love, which, who knows if once they hit retirement age, you even give a shit about them. Yeah. I hope too. I'm sorry, right? This is tough love. This is tough love. I hope her father says, no, I'm going to continue my trip. You're going to have to figure it out, right? The very least I could do for you is you can come back home. That's the very least you could do for you, right? That's the very least I could do for you. You could come back home. But other than that, you're shit out of luck. Figure it out.
And I told him I wanted to call my mom like I wanted to break the news to her in the afternoon when she gets off work. But he was like, no, I'm gonna text her. And I told him over the phone, like, don't tell her. I want to tell her myself. But I know he like didn't listen. So now I'm just like, anytime now my mom's gonna text me and be really mad. And I don't know how my mom is gonna handle the news. And I can see her either being really empathetic or being just like my dad. And honestly, like when I was tearing up last night, I think I realized I was actually kind of scared because I have some confidence that I could find another job, but of course it's not 100%. And even if I do find another job, I'm afraid that it's not going to be something I enjoy. I'm just going to.
Bitch, are you stupid? A job you enjoy? This is, I swear to God, right? Why do you think people are laying you off, right? I'm sorry. A job you enjoy? Bitch, just go work at McDonald's. Just go find anything. Get any job, right? This is the problem, right? This is the problem with the youth, right? I don't want to work a job I don't enjoy. Okay? It's your choice. But now what, right? Your parents are going to have to support you. You as an adult can make whatever decision you want, right? You as an adult can make whatever decision you want. The problem is that you're not taking accountability for your decisions, right? You're using your parents as an scapegoat. You're using your parents to take away your accountability. Bitch, how dare you talk, the audacity to talk about, I'm afraid that I won't get a job that I enjoy. Are you fucking stupid? The entitlement. I'm sorry. This is the entitlement of the younger generation. A job you enjoy, you should just be happy that you get a job that pays your bills. I'm sorry. Right? This is the problem with our generation, this new batch of adults. A job you enjoy, right? Fuck that, right? I hate my job. What I enjoy is the shit that my job produces, right? What I enjoy, right, is what my job helped me create. What my job helps me get. I hate my job. I can't wait to quit it, right? I'm like, seriously, like, if I ever get a chance of anything, if I ever get another way to make money, I'll leave it. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna thank God I have a job to get me shit that I do enjoy. This is like, it's the foolishness that we need jobs that we enjoy. It's great if you can find it, right? That's a career, right? That is a career. But other than that, fucking be an adult. I mean, Zyrex, you disagree? Come on, you disagree with me? Girl.
Like fall back into the trap of not being happy like how I was at my prior job.
Now I can wonder why they lay you off.
So, yeah. And honestly, I have so much things I need to do today. And I was glad that I took time yesterday to not call them and like kind of take time for myself and call my friends. And
It's that. Oh, I'm so glad I could, get my emotions. Fucking, it's like we have weak ass adults.
And the more I think about it, the more I am really grateful that I do have friends that I could even call, because if I had called my dad, if he was like the first person I called yesterday, I think I would have just like broke down and like cried the whole entire day. But I think because I was not super happy at my old job, that kind of bled in.
But here's the thing where, like, laughing man says, I love my job, DA, so I beg to differ. But to be fair, I learned it by myself. I'm making pretty good money. Here's the thing where, let's be honest, right? I'm not having. I mean, like, let me say this, right? You are not. I mean, I've looked at statistics, right? Majority of people love their job, right? Or like their job. Majority of people like their job. But here's the honest truth. You It's like you don't have a right to like your job, right? It's not a right. Right? It's not a right to have. Okay, it's not something that, oh my god, it's part of the package, right? Now, if you like your job, great. That's even better, right? But let's be honest. The purpose of a job is to make money. Now, if you love your job, if you like your job, that's amazing. That's an amazing thing. But no one is saying that, it's meant to be, right? You're meant to love your job. You're meant to make a living from it. Good news, I'm a 60 plus old out of shape white man, and I'm proud to be at the bottom of the barrel because none of these beautiful worth my time.
Into other aspects of my life, like because
Steve, what is up, my brother? Love it to see you here.
I was unhappy in that aspect. I also somehow felt unhappy about like my friendships, or like the amount of friends I have, or like how close I felt like I was to my friends, like my existing friends. And yesterday it kind of like put me back into a more neutral place where I could see that I do have friends I could call, and like I could text them and they're like willing to kind of help me out to the best of their abilities. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully I find another job. And it's like not gonna be like a 1 year job hunt like my dad anticipates. And I do want him to go on his trip because he like hasn't really gone on vacation or anything in a while. So it's not like I don't feel guilty. Like I do feel guilty, but then I don't know if it's selfish to want empathy from my parents, even though like I guess I'm unemployed, like it's kind of like on me now.
The fuck is the empathy gonna be? Oh, I'm sorry. That's bad. It's terrible for you. So fucking what?
But when I want empathy from them and I don't get it, it also
You don't want empathy from them. Fuck that. You don't want empathy for them. You want a handout from them. Let's be honest. You don't want empathy from them. You want a handout. You want them to help you out. The empathy is just a roundabout saying to like, okay, if they have empathy for me, right? If they feel for me, they will probably help me out. That's what you're hoping for, right? Even like hypothetically, okay, they can have so much empathy for you, but they don't help you out. I'm pretty sure you will hate that anyway.
makes me like it makes it difficult for me to empathize with them. So even though like I want to be able to pay for my own stuff, and I want my dad to be able to go on vacations and like enjoy the fruits of his own labor, when they're so like not emotionally there with me.
You don't care if they're emotionally there for you. Yeah, I think it's I don't think Asian people don't really do empathy. I'm sorry. I don't think Asian people are emotionally intelligent, right? In general, right? Or not necessarily intelligent, but emotionally in tune, right? We're not. I think Asian people are kind of straightforward, right? The whole emotional shit is so Western.
I don't know. I can't like feel bad for them as much as like I want to.
You can't feel bad for them. Fuck that shit. I'm sorry. This is why. Nah. Once my daughter hits an adulthood, if I feel like I'll help her, I'll help her. But fuck that shit. Like, here's the thing, right? If my daughter doesn't go the path that honestly will get her the best benefits, then it's up to her. If she chose her own path, you suffer the consequences of said path. Now, if you follow my path, okay, and something happens, right? I'll hold that burden because you walked the path that I chose for you. If you walk the path that you chose for yourself, shit is on you. I have no empathy for you. All right? This young adult does not want empathy. She wants a handout. You're limiting your red pill content. It's understandable, right? This is why To be honest, I don't watch a whole lot of red pill creators. Because I don't want too much on myself. Right? I just react to shit with my own point of views. Right? Red Door, what is up, my sister? I just like the audacity when you expect and want your parents to help you out to say that you have no empathy for them because they didn't have empathy for you. Fuck your empathy. You're asking for a handout. Also, I wanted to listen.
Do or as much as I feel like I should.
Yeah, stupid. There was a comment, right, that I wanted to talk about. I guess talking about the father. Does he know the economy and job market right now? Genuine question, because hundreds of thousands of individuals are getting laid off at no fault of their own. Layoffs are mainly due to poor upper management. Okay, so fucking what? It is not his responsibility to take care of you. You are an adult. You are an adult. Parents did their job, right? Parents did your job that you went into adulthood still alive, right? Healthy, alive. Parents did their job, okay? You're not suffering from any kind of mental illness. You're not suffering from like some kind of terrible injury, whatever, right? You went into adulthood healthy, right? And able-bodied. Parents did their job. Now it's your job, right? It is your job to do the rest. Plain and simple. I'm sorry. Who gives a shit? I mean, like, seriously, there are poor people and there are wealthy people. Where are you gonna be, right? In between, whatever. This is the problem. We have a group. We have a bunch of people that don't understand, right? Life is shitty. Life is unfair. You're gonna have to fucking deal with it. So, tough it out. But what do you guys think? Thank you guys for all being here. Please like the live. Please like the live. It helps me out. All right? Please like the live. It helps me out. All right, let's check this out. Interesting, right? Asian misogyny. Okay, let's check this craziness out. I don't like this woman. I've seen a few of her content. She's just your typical Asian feminist. Ethan, what is up, my brother?
The conversation about who Asian people date is really about self-esteem. But all you incels keep making it about misogyny. You find an Asian woman with high racial self-esteem who's sticking up for us, and then invalidate her intellect based on her dating history. Meanwhile, you yourself will do anything for white people's attention. Or will say really weird fetishy stuff about black men. Yes, I'm thinking of one Gaysian in particular. And as for the Asian woman in question, Unori, y'all are so weird for digging into her private life. For finding photos that she never published of a relationship that she never openly discusses, which is sexual harassment. It doesn't matter what race that guy is. You are so weird. Leave her the fuck alone. Come harass me. I'm dating an Asian guy. Do you need to see a photo of him? You need to see the photo of like the 45 other Asian guys that I've gone on dates with in the last few years or throughout my life? No, because if you knew my dating history or anything about the person I'm with, you will find other ways to try to shut me up. You just don't like that I am also an Asian woman with a lot of opinions, great articulation, and a brain that works. You are going to find something wrong with me or my dating history or my partner or the ethnicity of my partner or whatever. Because at the end, you don't want Asian women talking. And these incels are the ones who have really poor self-esteem too. Like I said, they would do anything for white attention. They're pick-me-go as fuck. They don't do anything to advocate for Asian people, and yet think that they can shut us all up, us women, with the accusation that we date a white guy. Sincerely, shut the fuck up.
If you can't even pay attention to your own advice, then stick it, right? Here's a loud ass feminist Asian. I've said this so many. This is the thing. Men accept whatever, right? Men accept whatever. I can't believe there's such an idiot of a man that would be with you. I've said this before, right? It doesn't matter if you're fat, skinny, ugly, pretty, annoying as shit, right? or feminine, right? It doesn't matter. There will always be a simp out there for you, right? There will always be an incel man out there for you. Right? Always. I would love it. Like, let's do that. I mean, like, I would love to do a debate on, on a lot of different things, right? Zyrex, think of some stuff, right? Help me out. Help me out. Like, what are your thoughts, right? But it's like, here's my thing, okay? Here's my thing with the whole the Oxford study shit. It's a meme, right? It's a meme, right? It birthed out of this culture, right? The meme-ish culture. It's a meme. The Asian people or anyone, right, that talks about Oxford study, it's not really like, oh, I'm hating on you. It's a meme. They're trolling you. It's only stupid women like this, feminists, right, that can't understand. Like, they can't understand culture. They're too emotionally triggered that can't understand that. It's a meme. Oxford study, when people say, like, a whole bunch of men say Oxford study, it's memeing you. It's trolling you. They're trolling you, right? Asian men aren't crying, right, because you got with a white man. That's fuck that. That's on you. Who cares, right? I don't believe so. I don't believe the majority of Asian men that say Oxford study or anyone, they care that you're dating a white man, right? It's just funny, right? It's funny. And it's worth being trolled. That's it. It's the trolling behavior that's very prevalent in online, right? It's trolling behavior. But women like this get triggered because the feminist poison makes women easily triggered, right? Yeah, for every man's trash is another man's treasure. I agree. Asian women adopting cosmopolitan upper middle class white women attitude is such an yeah. I mean, again, this woman talks about white supremacy, racism, all this shit. You ain't doing shit for Asian people. Talking about your stupid shit, right? Talking about your it's like literally the shit that comes out of women like this' mouth. It's usually comes out of white liberal women, right? Your ideology isn't like fucking Asian ideology or black ideology. No, right? It's white people ideology. So how special are you? It's the stupidity of these women. It's just really, I've said this before. Feminism is poisonous, but there will always be a fool, right, that will accept whatever is handed to him.
I've been making a list of acts of
Here's something that's continuing that crazy ass feminism.
I've been making a list of acts of microfeminism to use in everyday life, and I'm going to share them with you. Here are my favorites. Gendering professions when I'm talking about men. So male scientist, male doctor, male mechanic. This feels especially relevant with the Olympics on, but when you see a male sports team calling it the boys, whatever it is, because if you notice, people do this with women's teams all the time. So like, oh, look, the boys hockey is playing. Oh, I didn't realize that the boys curling team.
Oh, Zyrax. If that's, oh, come on. Then we can have a show all on feminism. Let's do it, right? Wednesday, like you said, you're going to come on. We're going to have to do it, right? We are going to do it. I'll say it. Feminism is poisonous, right? Feminism is poisonous. That will be the topic, right? So I'm on. Let's do it.
Was on today. When you see a man who's just gotten a haircut saying, I love your pixie cut. Seeing a man I know alone in public and saying to him, wait, who's home with the kids? Telling men they are so lucky that their wife is a hands-on mom. Addressing any invites or anything else to a couple as Mrs. her last name and Mr. her last name. I really like that one. Referring to it as the MNBA. Leave your favorites in the list below. These small acts add up to big things, and honestly, it's just fun to be petty. I've been making
What big things? I swear to God. It's like I swear to God. This things like this, I always think it's funny. Okay, I always think it's funny. Imagine this, right? Imagine this, where acts of microfeminism. what if men, and maybe they do, right? But I don't really know it. But what if men did kind of things in reverse, right? I think it's funny that maybe they do, right? But women will hate that or call that out, right, as misogyny. I didn't get it at all, right? To be honest, I didn't get her little microfeminisms. Like, okay, okay, whatever. I mean, like, but it's women who are so emotion based. They get easily triggered. They're so like really just. It's like all these things is the highlight of their life, highlight of the day. Yeah, and if that's the case.
I've been making a list of acts of microfeminism to use in everyday life. You guys really love the first video, so let's do a part 2. When a man says, you should smile more, you say, you first, and then when they smile, you say, good boy, with a straight face, and walk away. When someone says something positive about a man, you say, not all men. When a man around you tells a joke or makes people laugh, turn to a friend, a woman obviously, and say, see, men can be funny sometimes. Implementing these words, mantram, he-motional, and testerical. Testerical might be the winner here. Greeting groups of people as hello ladies and children of ladies. Similar.
There's a man out there that will want this woman. That is what's scary. There is a man out there that would want this woman. There's a man out there that would want to wife up this woman.
Instead of saying hey guys, say hey girls or hey gals. Men are gonna love that one. Always assume someone in authority or who's a professional is a woman. Doctor, coach, boss, supervisor, a woman, every time. Refer to God as a woman, like use feminine pronouns for God. This is a triple whammy because you're gonna piss off the Christian nationalists, the sexists, and the women who are heavily steeped in internalized misogyny. What else you guys got? I'm loving this.
Mark, what is up, my brother? What is up? Alan, what is up? What's up? Do you ever gonna react to the video that I told you about? The red pill video? Yeah, I was going to do that. I'll probably do that. I don't know, Monday. I'll probably do it Monday. Bro, things happen, right? I probably will. I mean, did you check out Wednesday's live stream? I wanted to do that, but someone asked what they wanted to talk about the Carmelo Anthony case. So I was doing that. I mean, as a fun as it is to point and laugh at annoying women endlessly, endlessly. Did you watch Wednesday's live stream? I didn't endlessly. I mean, literally that's live stream debunked you, right? Literally we were talking about Carmelo Anthony. Unless you view that guy as you view that boy as a woman. Yeah, the not Jeremy Renner is Alan, right? That is Alan. Brent, what is up? Again, this is why I said you're disingenuous, right? I've said this, you're disingenuous because I literally just did a live stream. My last live stream is about Carmelo Anthony, not a woman. Yeah, I mean, again, there's so much content, right? But I do things a variety of stuff. So, but I'll probably do it on Monday, right? On Monday, I'll probably react to it on Monday.
Making a list of acts of microfeminism, part 3. If a man is staring at you, just say to him, I'm sorry, I don't have any change. That one is so good. If you're making a phone...
How's that even good? No, that is true. There's endless content of reacting to dumb people online. So that is the thing, right? I mean, I tried to break it up, right? I'm not always reacting to, dumb people online. Okay, so I try to break it up.
Call or a house call saying, can I talk to the woman of the house? If a man answers. If you take the tips from my last video and switch to saying, hey gals, hey girls, instead of hey guys, if a man takes offense to that, you can just say, you know what, I'm really sorry. I didn't realize that your masculinity was so fragile. When you see a man wearing a sports jersey, tell them you absolutely love their costume and then ask who they're cosplaying as today. I love that one. And then tack on, I'm honestly so glad.
God, I find it so annoying when people, and in this case, a woman, like extraordinarily laughs at her own jokes. It's like, I fine, it's funny to you. It's very funny, I guess, but like the level of laughing is like, God damn, it's really not even close to being that funny.
That people are still into men's sports. Good for you. My personal favorite that I do all the time when a man is mentioned, saying, why would a man be there? Because actually, why would a man be there? Switch to using women's names to do the phonetic alphabet. For example, here's a message to all mega men. S as in Suzanne, T as in Trisha, F as in Francesca, U as in Ursula. I honestly haven't.
Yeah, she is so fucking annoying. I'm making you guys suffer. I'm sorry. I know I'm making you guys suffer, but these are the type of women that are out there. These are the type of women out there. And I'm sorry, right? These are the type of liberals that are out there. These are the type of liberals, progressives, Democrats that are out there. Now, I'm not, of course, not all, but I personal belief, she's the majority, right? She's the majority. Not all of them, but when I say majority, at least 51%. At least 51%. This is like the liberals, the left, the Democrats.
Endless supply of these. Part 4 will be coming soon. Making a list of acts of microfeminism. Part 4. If you're talking to someone in customer service, specifically request to talk to a woman because you want the issue to be dealt
with. Which one are you going to use? You've heard an act of microfeminism that you're going to use? Zyrax? Which one are you going to use?
with, right? Like actually say that. Don't move out of a man's way when you're walking and they're coming toward you. Now listen, I know this one is really hard. I'm a really short person, so especially if it's a really tall man, I get a little intimidated and then I realize, why do I have to move? Why don't you move, you big oaf? When talking about a couple.
You see that? Okay, so this woman is like, the floor is quite the... So you won't move, right? When you're walking along. He doesn't move. Now what? What's going to happen now? I find these women like kind of delusional. So you both won't move. But now what? What's going to happen? You're going to fight him? It's like, what the hell are you thinking is going to happen?
Refer to the man in relation to the woman. David Beckham. Oh, you mean Victoria Beckham's husband. Yeah. Telling a man you really like his blouse. Some more alternative.
She's probably on some meds.
When a man says to you, you should smile more. Number 1, say, you first. Then when they do, ew, never mind.
She literally just kind of used that one already. She just changed it up a bit.
Number 2, okay, say something funny. When they start to talk, you say, ah, and walk away. Number 3, you want to know the best thing I do as an act of microfeminism for real? I'm raising boys who treat women like they're human beings.
She has fucking kids. She has kids. Great. Hate movement, yes. But they're only a majority because your algorithm... I mean, I said this, right? Maybe it's I've said this, my opinion, right? It's just my opinion. Now, I don't know. Like, I mean, do you have... I mean, I know, Alan, you have your opinion, right? You don't believe this is the majority. But, I mean, I don't see any data about it, right? I don't see any data against it, right? So that's my thing. Like I said, I make it a preference. I make it an issue to say that's my opinion. Okay. But I don't see any data against it. Right. But I'll be honest. I don't see any data for it. Okay. I don't see any data for this kind of thing. Right. But let's be honest. Okay. Here's a video right? Here's a video that has over 284,000 likes. 284,000 likes, okay? 1,000 comments. So I would say that the women that the feminists, liberals, Democrats, whatever, that like this video, I would say that they share the same mind, right? So already that again, I don't disagree that yes, could be my For You page, right? My algorithm. I don't disagree with that, but I'm using what data I have, right, or what data I can, gather myself, because there's no concrete data on what type of liberals are out there, what type of feminists are out there, what type of Democrats are out there. Okay, I mean, please show me the type of data that would help say, oh, Democrats and left are not like this. Okay, because I think when people agree with these stupid kind of takes, these foolish ass takes, I would say that they fall under the same category, okay? Where we have a lot of these radical or stupid ass liberals, right? Stupid ass left Democrats, and we have a whole lot of people that like it. That's my data. Again, it's not a study, it's not any statistics, right? It's just in my opinion, a logical guess, right? A logical assumption. So
radical. Making a list of acts of microfeminism. Part 4. You're talking to
I can't believe she has kids, but not. I mean, what am I saying? Of course she has kids. There's always a fucking simp out there, right? There's always a simp out there. There's always a man out there that will accept whatever he can get. There'll always be a man out there that will accept whatever he can get. So it is what it is. She's also someone that has over 200,000 followers, right? I can't believe she has a man. But whatever. It's really crazy that she has a man. I don't know. You can't see that what she's doing is giving you a taste of your own medicine. Here's Zyrax. We got to talk about that, right? So Zyrax said, oh, I'm sorry. It doesn't show that one, but whatever. Zyrax said, you can't see that what she's doing is giving you a taste of your own medicine. I've said this before. I believe women. I believe minorities, right? I believe women, minorities, if not the alphabet community. If they had the power, right? If they had the power, okay? I believe that they would do exactly the same or kind of the same as the people they complain about, right? Women would be no different than the men, right? The oppressive men that they complain about. Minorities would be no different than the white supremacists they complain about. Because you see it today, right? In a world where they don't have the supposed power, they will give you your own medicine back, right? It's in them, right? So women, minorities, alphabet community, they're not on a more high ground, right? They wouldn't stoop to your lows, right? They wouldn't stoop to your lows. No, they will. They will, because it's within them, right? It's within them. It's a human thing. This is a thing. It's a human thing. Fair enough, dude. I get what you're saying. I still think you should react to more liberal content that's researched and made by people willing to back up their claims. I will still send me more videos. I mean, like, I only got the Redpill one. Did you join the Discord? I don't know if I've seen any other videos you sent, right? I only know the Redpill one. I will still say that she seems to be a very annoying person. And I wouldn't even take anything she says seriously. No, I don't take anything she says seriously. Okay. I don't take what she says seriously, but what I do take seriously is her influence. Right? This is a thing we don't talk about, my brother. What I do take seriously is her influence. That is the problem we don't talk about. I'm sorry. Most people are stupid. Most people are sheeps, both men and women, right? Most people are stupid. Most people are sheeps, right? Most people are easily influenced. Why do you think propaganda works? Why? People are sheeps. People are sheeps. Plain and simple, right? Majority of people, right? At least 51% of people are stupid. They're easily manipulated. Easily manipulated. So I don't care what she says. I care that she has influence. Right? Because then now, even though I don't care what she says, because she has influence, the stupid shit she says spreads. Right? Because if you see, like I said, 1,000 comments, over 1,000 comments, and in all those 4 videos I've shown you, probably over, 5,000 comments of people agreeing or people giving their own takes of microfeminism. So, but yeah, I wanted to talk about what Zyrex said, right? Giving men or white people, right, their own medicine. You show that you are no better than the people you talk about, right? The people you complain about, because if given the opportunity, you would do exactly the same thing. Right? Exactly the same thing. So I bet she's going to do a MJ Gray pivot. Like, I'm actually married. Like, maybe. It's always those kind of feminists, right? I want to do this TikTok video and then I'll jump into the main video for tonight. All right, let's check this one out.
I broke up with my boyfriend today, and not for any crazy reason. No heavy argument, nothing crazy. He's a great person. He's really such a sweet guy. He literally taught me how to love. He's gentle. Whoever gets him is going to be in for such a soft, loving.
I always find women like this funny, right? I left a man that was so amazing. I broke up with him because and even though he is so amazing, I still left him. This is a 5-minute long video, so I'll probably react to it while watching it, but I find those type of women just absolutely unbearable, right? Those are the type of women that, in my opinion, these are the type of women that will then come online, right, and spew a whole lot of shit about men.
Life, right? But I realized I'm a very high output individual, and I have high expectations for my friends, my girlfriends. They'll all tell you, Christina does not want to hear your bullshit. I'm not the friend that you call and vent to unless you want a real solution. If you want me to just listen, I could do that, but make sure you say that in the beginning of the call. But I'm the friend that's going to apply the pressure. I'm going to challenge you. If you tell me your dreams and your goals, I'm going to hold you accountable, and I'm going to make sure you reach them. I'm that friend. I'm going to get you to your goals every single time. And I'm that woman in a relationship as well. My husband, if he has a bad day, I'm going to remind him who the fuck he is. He's a king. You are a boss. You deserve the world. And I'm going to help you get it. I'm the kind of girlfriend that will buy you a fucking car. I'm the kind of girlfriend that will really grind all week just to see you happy at the end of the week. You can call me a pick me. I don't give a fuck. You guys know I don't care. But I'm the kind of girlfriend that will fight for it, that will make it work. I'll cut everybody off. I don't care. Everybody can go. What did Jay-Z say? If the house is on fire, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I am loyal. I am so...
I find women funny, right? I really do. In the same breath as saying how loyal you are, you just said you broke up with a man you were dating, your boyfriend. I don't understand how this loyalty works, right? So many when you guys seen it, right? When I do these Kendra G reactions, all these women say, "Oh, one of the best qualities I have is I'm loyal," right? Did you Did you not break up with men before? How fucking loyal are you? You're so loyal, you're leaving men. I mean, like that's loyalty in a nutshell, isn't it? You're so loyal, you'll break up with men. Break up with men you already chose.
Excited to build a family with somebody that I will cut off my own family because they're so toxic that I will start a whole new family and become a whole new last name, a whole new person, and won't look back. That's how important it is for me to choose a person. He doesn't give me half of that energy. I think that he thinks that just by being good and kind to me and opening my door and bringing me roses every month, and like, I think he thinks that he's going above and beyond. And he's not. Above and beyond is keeping my soul calm, giving me words like, baby, I got you, don't worry. Even if it's not it's never a financial thing between us. It's nothing like that. It's just like, I need you to be certain about me. I need you to know this is my partner. I don't play about her. This is my woman. I'm excited to have her. I'm the type of woman that will change your life when I come into your life if you let me help you. If you don't want my help, I can't help you. But I will change your life. So I can't be in just a relationship because you're a good person. That's nice. Let's stay friends. You know, let's have a good, let's flirt sometimes. Sure. But
what the fuck is that? Okay. I find it a bit weird. Did you just let's flirt? So you're going to play with his emotions? You know, this is a problem we're finding, right? Now, I will say this, right? Everyone should have standards. I would say this. Everyone should have standards. So I'm not chastising her on her standards, right? I'm not chastising her on her standards. Whatever her standard is, it is what it is, right? I think everyone should have standards. My problem is that you chose him to be your boyfriend already. Okay, and again, I get it, right? Still, being a boyfriend is not your husband. Okay, I get that. But another thing is that when he became your boyfriend, right? You saw qualities in him that, you know what, you want to commit to. Right? You saw qualities in him that you want to commit to. So I've always said this. I've always said this. Do not get with anyone that you need them to change. Right? I've said this to all the women I dated, and surprise, surprise, I've dated women. Right? I mean, I've dated a few women. Who I am, right? Who you see now, right? On the first date, I'm going to show you who I am. Who you see now is who you'll see on my deathbed. Plain and simple, right? I am who I am, right? The amount of energy I put out, the amount of, I don't know, the things I do for you, whatever, right? What you see is what you get. If you don't like what you see, don't take it, right? Don't want it, right? Don't accept it. I find women like this disingenuous in the sense that, did you not see what you wanted? Right? Because you accepted him as a boyfriend. I just feel like when you're in the boyfriend stage, or when you accept a person to be your partner, you like who they are, right? You see qualities that you like. So then when it's only that you like these qualities, now you want to lock it down with marriage, right? It's not that, okay, you know what? I saw one thing I like. Now I'm going to, that's the dating thing, right? That's the dating part where you're seeing certain qualities if you like or not. Okay. That's the dating, right? You're dating. You're not boyfriend or girlfriend. It's dating. You see, you know what? I'm not sure of this quality yet. I'm still getting to know him. That's dating. But when you're boyfriend or girlfriend, you like the qualities you see, right? I like these qualities. I want to commit to these qualities. Now, when it comes to marriage, I love these qualities. I want to lock it down, right? You said yes to being his girlfriend. So obviously you like what you saw, right? That's my opinion, right? You like what you saw. So I just think that it's like whatever effort he gave you, right? He must have gave you that same amount of effort at the beginning, right? So do you think that he's going to give you more effort as time goes on? It's like he gave you the effort that you saw. He gave you the effort that made you want to, okay, you accepted his proposal as being his girlfriend. And now that, you know what? Oh, you know what? He didn't give me enough effort. I gave you the exact effort that got you to be my girlfriend. And now you want more? The fuck are you talking about? That's how I think about it. I think
In order for me to build an empire, I have to have somebody beside me who at least says the words.
building an empire is like absolute. I mean, like she is like drop dead gorgeous. So I'm not gonna. There's no doubt about that. She's gorgeous. So I get it. I guess I get it. Why she would think, oh, build an empire. She is 1%. She's a 1% looking woman, right? Her beauty is 1%. But I think a lot of times women are delusional because they want to date themselves, right? They want to date themselves. Now, is it impossible to find someone exactly like you? No, it's probably not impossible. You just make it improbable.
You gotta at least say the words, I got you. I'm on your team. Nobody can talk bad about you to me. You're mine. We are together.
Yeah, she's the beautiful woman, right? She's top 1% beauty.
Need to feel that passion, that hunger, that grit. And I'm only a woman. I can't teach you how to be a gritty motherfucker. I can't, you know? And I think that he's okay where he is. He's okay where he is. He's not looking too far in the future. He's not looking too far in the past. He's just here. And that's beautiful. I think that's exactly what another different woman needs. But this woman, I need somebody to push us and get up 4 a.m. Let's go, baby. We gotta go. We got goals. You got fashion week this week. We got goals. Come on, baby. I'm training you all week. Let's go.
Now, I'm not saying that, you know, if that's what you want, that's what she wants. But what I do say, right? Not necessarily her in particular. But this is the danger of certain women that want ambitious men, right? Hyper ambitious men, right? Yes. This is the thing where some of these women that want hyper ambitious men, right? Hyper motivated men, is that sometimes they think that men can shut it off, right? Like maybe she could shut it off, but when you have hyper ambitious men, what if he's so ambitious where he's focused on his career only, right? You found the hyper ambitious man, right? The go-getter. Is he still what you want? Probably not. Probably not. Women will regret, right? A lot of times, right? It happens a lot of times. Women regret what they ask for, right? I want a man that, you know, provides and protect. Well, now he provides and protect and he orders you around, right? He orders you around. He's very strict with his provisions, with his resources. Oh, I want a man that's hyper ambitious, right? That's crazy ambitious. Okay. Now he has no time for you because he's always working. He's always on his phone, right? Always trying to make deals. I mean, I want a man that's like hyper, you know, big, muscular, macho, right? Okay. But now he's like anger problems, right? He has anger problems. He's, you know, he's always at the gym. He's like, I don't know, he could hyper tough. He beats you.
I need that, you know? And so I love him. I definitely do. He is such a good guy. And I'm gonna feel a little bit of envy when he posts, you know, his woman. But I know it couldn't have been me because God didn't give me all this ambition and all this desire to be great just to end up with somebody who's okay with just being here. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Men get too much credit for being a good person, for opening your door. Men get too much credit for bringing you flowers sometimes. You getting too much credit for that.
Yeah, because you always want them more. You always want more. You always want more, right? this obsession with it's never enough. It's never enough. It's like I want perfect. I want perfection. I want a man to be perfect. He has to be perfect. It's not enough. Okay. And again, right? I get it, right? You are beautiful. The issue is what happens when you stop being it, right? What happens when you, I don't know, she looks like she's in her maybe mid 20s. What happens when you're in mid 30s? What happens when you're in the 40s? I've said this before. We're all adults, right? We're adults. You choose how your path works. Right? You choose what path you take. The problem is, don't complain about what's at the end of your path. Don't complain how rocky your path is. Don't complain. That is it, right? Because now you lack accountability. You chose that path, right? You chose that path. No one forced you. No one forced you to leave the man. No one did, right? Then, I don't know, years later, it's like, oh my God, all these men are like, they're too busy. All these men are cheaters. All these men are liars. Bitch, didn't you not, like a few years ago, you said you had a good man, but you said he's not enough? And now you're complaining about other men? If lying and cheating and, you know, being abusive was your number one priority, you should have got with this man, right? But I thought you said, you know, ambition is more important, right? Or, I don't know, other shit is more important. It's like, no, I want everything. I want a perfect man, right? He has everything I want. Well, bitch, you're crazy.
They making that look like it's a big thing. It's not. That's requirements. That's like waking up and brushing your teeth, baby.
No, it ain't. If you don't brush your teeth, right, your teeth get rotten. If I don't open the fucking door for you, you could open it yourself. If I don't buy you flowers, so fucking what? Not requirements. It's what you think as requirements. It's what these types of women think as requirements. But they're not. They're not requirements. Because here's the insanity, right? So do you think that, you know, you give men sex whenever he wants is a requirement? Nah, God forbid. That's a requirement. Misogynistic, sexist, right? That's not a requirement. But him opening the door for you, him providing and protecting you, him buying you flowers, right? Every day. He's buying you gifts. He's doing all this shit is your requirement. I've said this before, right? You can't tell a beautiful woman anything. You can't. Because it doesn't make sense. Because she's living the opposite, right? You can't say, oh my God, you're going to hit, you know, no man's going to want you. Plenty of fucking men want her, right? Oh my God, it's like, you're not going to, you know, I don't know, make it in life. She's probably wealthy, right? She's probably wealthy and wealthy men want her. So really, women like this will never listen, right? They will never listen. They will never understand. That's not the point, right? That's not the point of saying the shit I'm saying. Right? I'm not saying shit, right, to, you know, get women to change their mind. You can't, right? When women are in their prime, you can't change their mind. When women are in their prime, you can't change their mind because they're living life counter to the shit you're saying. Right? Plenty of men want her. Right? Plenty of men want them. They're making probably a lot of money, or you know whatever. They're living the life, right? They're living a amazing life. So you can't say shit to beautiful women. But what you could say is for men to understand, or for younger women to understand, or women past their prime to understand.
I deserve the world because I'm going to bring you the world. So what are you bringing me back?
Fuck, what man asked for the world? I swear to fucking God. Can you ask? I mean, again, she's beautiful, so I get it.
What are you feeding my mind? What are we talking about right now? Like, you want to read together? Like, what do you want to do? How do we level each other up? How do we both level each other up? And how do you teach me to calm down a bit? Words, actions. Christina, I got you, baby. I know you get anxious. You getting anxious. I could feel you getting anxious. Come here, give me a kiss. I got you. Oof. God. Yes, Lord. I'm gonna wait. I'm
God. You just want to date yourself.
gonna be patient, Lord. I broke up with
You know, it is what it is, right? I will see this, right? These are the type of women, all right? I can't, I'm not going to say, like I said, I'm not going to say anything, or I'm not, it doesn't make sense to say much when these women are prospering. So it is what it is. The Garden of Eden wasn't enough for Eve. Exactly. They always want more, right? Always. So, this is, I always say that, it's pointless for like certain men to, chastise or call out or try to educate women when they're in their prime, right? When women are in their prime, it's just idiotic to try to reason with them, right? Because it goes nowhere. But what do you guys think? She's a gorgeous ass woman. I'll give her that, right? But where have I seen her before? I mean, I probably have seen her before. She's in Miami. Um, she will have no problem. I mean, like she will she will most definitely find her high value man, right? I mean, the only way she won't have a man is that she doesn't want a man. That is it. She will, she will get men. So that will never be a problem. that is that, but that's the thing, Ethan. Exactly. You know, the wall is undefeated. The wall is undefeated, right? It's undefeated for a reason. So, okay. All right, this is the main video for tonight. I thought I saw a clip of it on TikTok, so I wanted to check it out. Hopefully, it's a good video. Hopefully, it's a good video. Let's check it out.
If you're anywhere near the Asian American content space, you already know who he is. He has been creating around Asian American culture, identity, and food for over a decade. Want to raise you guys today dating in Asia versus North America from the perspective of Asian men and women and Chinese provincial differences and what that means for you if you are Chinese diaspora. As you guys know, I'm Crystal, founder of Asian Rebel Club, born in China, lived across 9 countries in Asia and North America, so I see both worlds from the inside, which is exactly why this conversation needed to happen. And David, over to you. Tell us who you are.
My name is David Fung. I'm from Seattle, Washington originally, but I lived a lot in LA, New York, obviously the entertainment media capitals, but mostly I was online, but did some mainstream stuff as well. And yeah, I think that Fung Bros, me and my brother Andrew, have just been talking about.
I've heard of them, right? The Fung Bros. I know that they were big or whatever. I never really watched their content, right? So I don't really know much about them. Ethan, you know about them. As an Asian American man, I'm probably just gonna passport bro back to Asia. That's the thing where that's what I did, right? I got my passport. I found my girlfriend outside of the US.
About Asian America, Chinese America, the diaspora, Asia, just a lot. You know what I mean? Like a lot over the years.
Counterpart talking about these topics. Well, probably not, right? Because you've talked to some
Not
people.
in there was a few small like podcasters, but you're the first like big female that we've had. Obviously you're on a lot, Andrew did the Andrew Daily podcast or like Jeff Kung's podcast,
Yeah.
or I don't even know how many podcasts we've been on over the years. But to be honest, you are the first female that I've ever seen it from a female and a male perspective. Like I don't think I ever saw, like a deep, I don't know how, I don't even want to say it.
Is it big? But she only has like under 1,000 followers, right? I mean, maybe she has a bigger following somewhere else, but she only has 1,000 followers. So, okay.
This way, but like I was gonna say, really like a Asian female led. Now I don't want to say that there's none because we were on one in Brooklyn, but it was like a very small channel. But
Right.
like the first large platform where an Asian female sort of is talking about guy issues, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. No, like I would definitely think that I'm just a guy in a girl's body, to be honest with you. I love intellectual debate about sociology and psychology. So let's dive right in. The first topic
Guys, please like the live stream. Please like the live stream. It helps me out.
is basically dating in Asia versus North America.
I know in your content, you've talked about the transactional dating nature in like China. Do you think that that's dramatically different from North America, or North America just hides the transactional nature through more layers?
Well, I think, first of all, dating is inherently transactional, right? Like I know this is probably a hot take, but not really, because you are looking for something in the other person while you're going on for a date. Doesn't matter whether it's tangible, right? Or intangible, like emotional values. So like it's really about like whether you want to make the transaction.
I agree. I 100% agree that dating is always 100% transactional. Now, you know, you can transact for different things, right? Doesn't necessarily mean sex with money, but it's transactional for some kind of thing, right? Like I could ask you, oh, why do you love her? Well, okay, why you love her? I could ask why she loves you. Why she loves you? Well, those are transactional, in my opinion. They are. It's more, you know, nuanced transactional, but it's transactional, right? Because you love without that, right? Without the reason why you love her, right? If you take that away, if she doesn't give you that, right, give you whatever it is, then you probably won't love her.
Actions, like what you're looking for more overt, or you want to hide it in like more polite way. And the way I see in Asia is that in a lot of places like Singapore, because I live in Singapore, I live in China, is that people are just more used to having the transaction out on the table. So like, even if you go to India, like I used to have a roommate who's Indian, and he would show me this dating app that he used. And, there's a lot of bio data on the app where like person is like a lower caste.
I agree. We hide it, right? Americans hide it because of the fluff, right? The love fluff, the Disney fairy tale, all that fairy tale shit. It is transactional.
Or a lower class. And everything is just like for you to know before you can even choose this person, right? And it's the same thing with China where like, I remember going to a interview. I
would say this, right? I've said this. All relationships are transactional. It's just a degree, right? Because there's a certain degree of transactional where it just becomes purely materialistic, purely unemotional, right? Purely just absolutely robotic in nature, right? So that's why you have to understand that, yes, all relationships are transactional, but there's an extreme, right? There's always extremes, and there's certain like levels to it. So you have to watch out.
Career, and the person was like a CEO of the public company, but he's Chinese. And the first thing he asked me was that, what does your dad do? And it's just very odd. Like they see this as like such a normal question to ask, and they just weed you out like very quickly. What is your class? What is the benefit you can bring to me? Or are you going to be a liability, right? And then so like I see that same dynamic happening in dating where people are very defensive. I think that Asian culture is a very defensive culture. It's all about, I don't want to lose. So like they're protecting themselves. So it's like, how many houses do you have? How, what is my salary? And then like each party will want to like prepare the war chest so that like they don't get into like a losing deal. It's just such a transactional mentality out in the open. Now, like I think in North America, like, cause America, and, in Canada, like I lived in Canada for a long time too. And it's just like such a diverse society. Everybody values different things and you're supposed to value that, right? And a lot of like, I don't know, like you can value chemistry, you can value adventure, you can value like spiritual costs and political costs, like to each their own. So it's not one-dimensional transactional, but it is kind of transactional in terms of like what you're looking for, right? Because like how much of it, for example, is chemistry is coming from this person's status. Like let's just say all things equal. Like a person who, is 6 feet, I don't know, like white guy, like trust fund finance, whatever, in Manhattan, and a person who isn't, right? Like, I don't know, homeless artist. Like everything else equal, right? Like, which one would you choose? Like, I would say most people will probably choose the first one. And is that transaction? Like, I don't know. Like, I think that is. It's just that they don't really talk about it as much as Chinese people do.
Yeah, I think that there's always like this Pokemon card game or like Magic card game or Dungeons and Dragons aspect to like matchups. You know, you put down this card of the female, and then you put down this card of the male, or the male and then the female. Like, and I think that to your point, Asian culture in general, or ancient societies in general, let's just take this out and bring it to the Middle East or like India or something like that. Like ancient societies, they're more comfortable like putting the hard stats on each of the cards that you're playing in the game.
Yeah.
Whereas like Western people would be like, why do you need to look at it like a card game, like Dungeon?
Asian people live on what you bring to the table. Asian people literally live the life of what you bring to the table. Plain and simple. This is why I've said this before, right? Travel the world, right? Travel the world. It's none of this like bullshit, shady ass shit that the West has, right? With these women that are like, just like the covert feminists, right? Covert feminists, these supposedly conservative women or supposedly traditional women, they're covert feminists, right? I think that you have a better luck with finding actual conservative, actual traditional women outside of the West, right? Outside of places that are heavily poisoned and influenced by feminism, right? That's why I said go to get your passport, travel the world. I'm not saying automatically, marry any woman outside. I'm just saying like travel the world so you can see what's out there, right? This is the most important things for all men. Open up your dating pool, right? I think there will be less incels or less, depressed men and other shit like that if they open their world to the rest of the world, right? Get your money up, get your body up, get your mindset up, and travel the world. Travel the world, my brothers, right?
And Dragons or Magic the Gathering in Asia, they would just, or ancient societies in general, the East, whatever you want to call it, is the Middle East, right? Like they would just be like, nah, that's the stats. Like we put down the stats, the family name, what the father does. If this match is either gonna go off these stats or not. Like to your point, the Shanghai dating market, and they don't even have photos of each other. Like in the West, the photos would be everything. You just Tinder, like people don't even care about what the other stats are. It's just gonna go off physiology or phenotype or like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and Shanghai, it just was listing stats like no photos, no nothing.
I think it's
That's really intense.
also. Yeah, it is. It's like literally like marriage resume in the market.
Well, in the West, it's just going to come down to looks. Like that would be like the initial filter. You know what I mean? Like in China and Shanghai dating market, that's the final, like the afterthought.
They don't care about it. They don't care.
Yeah, that's crazy. That would be the crazy.
I said this before, right? I get it, right? All of us want someone we're attracted to, right? I 100% understand. But we have to understand, attraction will blind you. How someone looks will blind you from what matters, in my opinion, right? They can be a serial killer. Right? We got that, right? We have the Wade Wilsons, we have the, all these fucking, serial killers of the past that gets thousands upon thousands of fan letters, right? Thousands of women, saying that I want to marry you, shit like that. They will ignore bad qualities, right? Bad qualities if you look good enough, right? If you look good enough, you can be a woman beater. If you look good enough, you can be a liar and a cheater. If you look good enough. This is why do you think the Pookies, the Ray Rays, the Chads, the Tyrones don't have a problem? Why do you think the men that cheat on women always have women to cheat on? Right? Why? Why do you think the men that abuse women always have men to abuse? Always have women they can abuse. Like these men, right, that abuse women, that cheat on women, they date multiple women, right? They always have a woman to be, to be toxic too. Because these men have usually the attraction level, right? They have their attraction level down packed. So again, I try to instill this into my brothers, right? I get it. Someone you're attracted to is amazing, but let's be honest, right? Us as men, we are attracted to a multitude of women. I mean, I can be attracted to a woman that's a 4, and I definitely can be attracted to a woman that's a 10, right? Maybe a 3 would be pushing it, right? A 3 might be pushing it. But I can find some attraction, right, with a woman that can be kind of a 4, right? It's pushing it too, right? But yeah. So a lot of men can find a lot of different type of women attractive. It's not that hard. Dating statistics have shown that most men find most women attractive, right? Most men find most women attractive. So again, this is why I'm definitely for trade-off of physical attraction for personal from personality attraction is more important to me, right? Personality attraction is 1,000 times more important to me, right? I care about how a woman treats me than how much how beautiful she is, because I can find a lot of women beautiful, right? I find, if you look at some of my girlfriends, right? They're not terrible, right? I'm not trying to be, mean or anything, but my girlfriends are average, right? The girlfriends I've dated were average. I think most of the girls I've dated were a 5, at best a 6. I dated one girl that was an 8, right? I dated her like she was an 8. Right? I mean, like most of my friends say that she was gorgeous. She treated me like shit, right? She didn't really value me or appreciate me. So I'd rather date someone that's a 5 and she absolutely loved me, absolutely obsessed with me, and treats me like a king. I'd rather date a 5 that treats me like a king than date an 8 that treats me like a pauper.
Yeah, I would think if you just look at the Shanghai marriage market with pure stats, no anything else, they got like an essay that the daughter or the son wrote in like 11th grade to show like their poetic skills or something. It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like one thing, I think the most hilarious thing I've seen was that this guy in his like marriage resume, he was like, I'm an older guy and I'm a virgin. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why would that even be on your resume? Like, why would I want to be with a virgin guy? Like, but yeah,
but guys would want to be with a virgin
like
girl
that.
though. So I could see his thinking, because he's like, yeah, that's just like everybody want that from a girl. They're going to want that from me too. But then
you see that? I mean, let's be honest, right? A man would want a virgin girl. I mean, I'm not saying like that's probably his automatic, right? It's not his first choice, or it's not his preference, right? Or not his demand for a virgin, but he would gladly accept a virgin over a woman with like 20, 30, 100 bodies under her. A woman would. Let's be honest. A woman would accept and gladly accept a man with 100 bodies. Why? Because he has to have value to have 100 bodies. Okay. A man that's a virgin, I'm sorry, a man that's old, right? He's old. He's 30, 40, whatever, and still a virgin. He has most of the time, right? Most likely very little value, right? He'll most likely have very little value if he's a virgin, right? In his later years. So a woman would gladly accept a man with 100 bodies because she knows that he has to have some value to get 100 bodies, right? To get 100 different women to want to have sex with him. She probably does have a lot of bodies.
it just doesn't work the same.
I mean, I don't know. Like I think that if a guy is like, virgin in his like 40s and 50s, like I would think there's something wrong with you, So like,
yeah.
I'm not sure. I even told my dad that, and my dad was like, yeah.
Well, it's like a key that couldn't unlock any doors, but sometimes people would be interested in a door that's never been unlocked.
Yeah, exactly. So I even told my dad that, and my dad was like, that's so weird. It's like, there is no way for you to verify that, right? About a guy's virginity. So
that's actually pretty funny. That's funny that your dad
Well, the thing is that I don't think men would be clamoring for it, right? I don't think men would. I mean, I think only an idiot only an idiotic man would lie about being a virgin. It's not commendable, right? Men would rather lie that they have 100 bodies under them than lie that they never had sex in their whole life. So,
Took it to the biology level. That's actually
guys, please like the live stream. Please like the live stream. It helps me out.
funny too. Like a physician.
Yeah, he got some. I swear, see, this is the thing, right? Like Ethan said, right? He got some red pill. But here's the thing. This is why I really hate the haters, right? The haters of red pill. Red pill is only logic, right? The people who are emotional when it comes to red pill, the people who say emotional, stupid things, that's the individual, right? That is the individual who take red pill and shape it how they want it to. But in general, right? Red pill, right? Red pill itself is just logic. It's just reality, right? Red pill is reality, right? Red pill is breaking up the delusion, right? It's the pill that shows you reality. Now, how you interpret reality, that's up to you, right? How you interpret reality is up to you.
My dad is super open. Like, he does not care about these topics. He will just give me
No,
my
that is such a
his honest
Chinese
take.
answer,
But
like
anyway,
hyper like logical to the
so what's your take on that? Because like, obviously you now live in Vietnam, and I know that you mentioned before, like in North America, you also dated Asian women. But like, do you see the dynamic changing, as you're now here?
like Asian America is like the middle point. Asia is like super put the stats out there, transactional.
Yeah.
Asian America's here and the West is like a little bit more over here. But if you look at the elites of the Western world, they operate a little bit more like Asians, low key. Like the elites, like Northeastern elites, Rhode Island, Providence, Delaware, Massachusetts, they're going to low key act more Asian, but they still going to on the outside pretend like, oh yeah, you can marry that like broke, like wannabe rock star, that didn't make it yet. But like once you get to where I'm from on the West Coast, where you're really free from these like old institutions, like if you look at all the Ivy League universities, they're all on the East Coast where they have more of that like British bloodline thinking. Like in Seattle, like you do see, I knew this hot white girl that we grew up with who married this like Mexican dishwasher that she worked at the Tex-Mex restaurant. And she was hot too. Like that's unheard of.
That's insane.
Like that's like and that's not even that uncommon. Yeah, it was still kind of a shock in the town, but it wasn't even like that big of a shock because we're just like, oh yeah, like she just going for love. So it's like, that's never going to happen in an ancient society. Like it's not, I'm not going to say never, but they're going to make a movie out of it like Aladdin. You know what I mean? Like that's how uncommon it is. It's going to be like stuff for the fairy tales for generations to come. But yeah, in the West, people marry for a vibe, for love, but they also going to get divorced off a vibe or lack of a vibe. So
Facts. 100% fact, right? If you got married because of a vibe or because of money, because of beauty, because of like, honestly, fleeting things, right? Fleeting things, right? I mean, like, unless your pockets are big, right? Infinite. It's all fleeting. If you got married for fleeting shit, right? You got together on fleeting shit. Once that thing dissipates, you will leave. That's why I said it's all logic, right? Don't get with someone because of these stupid ass notions, right? Like the passion. This is why I've said this, right? This is why there's a study out there that says women generally get bored quicker in long-term relationships compared to men, because women generally get with a man because of vibes, right? Chemistry, the spark, the butterflies, shit like that, right? Women get with men based on just very very emotional base, right? It's purely emotional, good or bad. That's up to you. That's what you determine yourself, but it's very emotional. There's nothing concrete to why she got with him sometimes. Okay. Now I think it should be a bit of both, right? Bit of something, emotional, but something more concrete as well, right?
I think that
Yeah.
because people don't really view divorce in the West as like a stain on a scarlet letter on you in perpetuity. Whereas in the East, it might be like a scar. I mean, I think it's changing now in 2026, but for a while, it's like you damage goods forever.
Oh my gosh, in China, because currently I'm in Shanghai, right? And my friends told me the craziest stories where, like, first of all, everybody's getting a divorce. Shocking. I think half of my female friends were divorced. And they also were saying that
Oh shit. Thank you, Ethan. I don't the fuck happened. I'm sorry. I don't know how long that was. Yeah, but that is thanks to the fruits of feminism, right? That is thanks to the fruits of feminism that places like China, Japan, Korea, other places, divorce rates are growing. Divorce rates are growing thanks to feminism, right? Excuse me. Yeah. Any place that's touched by feminism, women are leaving men. All right? Women are leaving men. So I've said it. Don't trust feminist ideology.
Because one of my guy friends who took forever to get married, and they're like, please get married soon because the second marriage market is very competitive. Because a lot of them, get divorced and like, they're already in the second marriage market, right? While like he's still in the first marriage market. So they were trying to warn him.
So that's really funny. That's really funny to tell somebody before their first marriage to already prepare for their second marriage.
Oh my gosh. So like, I think a lot of Chinese people don't really have, or like Asian in general, don't really have commitment issues. Like that's such an American thing. So they just don't care. Like they will get committed. They will get married. And worst case scenario, they get a divorce and blame on their parents. They're like, you see, I did this for you and it's like not working out, So I think for Westerners, they simply just like have commitment issues and they don't even do it.
Yeah, I think that like dating apps really destroyed the West because you could find a new wife or a new husband in like 10 minutes. Like if you think about back in the parochial days, like living in the village, like just human interaction, like didn't occur that way.
Yeah. I mean, but like you think like that, right? But it's just idea of it, that is not really the reality either.
Yeah. The East is more transactional than the West, but I think the West can be more transactional, but they hide it behind a lot of layers. But it depends per person. Like for sure, dude, white people, I mean, this is a little bit of a tangent, but I think they just conquered so much in the world over the past 500 years. They can kind of like make a bad decision of their partner. They don't need to like empire build and bloodline build and multi-generational like aristocracy build anymore. They past that point. You know what I mean? Like they're just like, oh yeah, let's do it. Why not? Like who cares? But like minorities are like, we're still thinking in the ancient way. We're not from a new world country. We're from an ancient country that still holds like some ancient beliefs.
I definitely think there's
I don't know if he means that in a way that it's a good thing or a bad thing, right? But I'll say this, right? I think traditional values are important. There's a reason why traditional values came about. There's a reason why. Yeah, red pill, not red pill truth, exactly. But there's a reason why traditional values can't stand the test of time, where traditional values usually produces the best outcomes. Okay, it's just how it is, right? It usually produces the best outcome for children, produces the best outcome for wealth.
Huge difference between the overseas Asian, right? Like Asian American versus like a huge country like China. Like people here don't really have scarcity mindset like that anymore. Like in a lot of groups, right? Obviously in a lot of groups they still do, but like as people get richer, they also start to think a little bit more like Westerners in that department.
Evo Eddie, what is up, my brother? What is up? Guys, please like the live. Please like the live. Helps me out. The global Caucasian population is approximately 1 billion. People represents roughly. Yeah, I mean, this places Caucasians as a global. Yeah, I've heard that, right? White people are actually a minority. I think, I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Asians are a majority.
Because like technically a Chinese person in China is the white person of the West because they're the majority that hold the power and the leverage and etc.
Yeah, totally. So, okay. So the question for you, Asian women and men, who has more dating trauma, you think? Or rather in the West, right? Like we're not talking about in Asia.
Man, in the West, I think the easy answer for anybody to give is Asian men for sure. But I could see the argument for Asian women having more trauma because it's just.
No, it's Asian men. It's Asian men. Asian men has more trauma, right? At the very least, Asian women are being picked. At the very least, Asian women are being picked. Asian men aren't, right? I believe, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I know this is right, that Asian, by dating statistics, right? By dating statistics, Asian men are at the bottom. Now, I'm not, I'm 100% sure, but I think Asian women are at the top, right? It's either white women or Asian women, right? But I think Asian women are at the top of the pecking order when it comes to dating. So how can you have more trauma when you are more desirable? Right? So
It's a completely different situation. I think Asian women are actually in the game, but they're getting played out a lot in the game. You know what I mean? Because like there's some things that make Asian women feel like they can compete, but then right at the moment it gets pulled back. But Asian guys are not even in the game. We are like forced to be either stay in the enclaves, import a wife from Asia, or kind of like not even be in the game. Now, the young Gen Z guys, especially if you're really tall and good looking, they're starting to get in the game more. Like for sure, for Gen Z, you know, like 25, 28 and under. But I'm talking about for like millennials and Gen X, you're either dating like exclusively Asian women in the US or you're dating like a fob chick from Asia, you know. And so you know,
this is the thing. I mean, if you guys know my history, right, which some of you guys in the chat do, right? I've said this before. I've only dated 2 Asian women, and I'm currently dating 1, right? So I've only dated 1 before. I've predominantly only dated black, and it's not necessarily by choice, right? I mean, it's by choice, but it's not necessarily because I only want to date black women. It's just what happens, right? It's the situations that I got, right? So I think it's funny. I dated, yes, the 2 Asian women. I guess you could call it fobs, right? But I mean, yeah, it is interesting.
Can't be in the white world to get our heart ripped out. But I'm saying that Asian women can be in the white world, but oftentimes, at least once, they will have their heart ripped out. Like,
yeah, I mean, this is the thing where I think Asian men are getting better, right? I mean, the propaganda, the narrative about Asian men are getting better. But let's be honest, I think I don't think Asian men as a whole are necessarily getting a drastic change. Now, I think Korean men, Korean men are definitely they are, because of K-pop and K-dramas, they are definitely destroying the narrative, right?
By a guy who didn't want to marry him, he wanted to marry a white girl. You know what I mean? That the joy.
Dated Latinas and Asians, right? 2 shorts for white and black women. I'm glad that I'm kind of tall, right? I'm 5'11", so I'm glad I'm pretty tall for just right there for black women, right? Not 6 foot, right? As black men, but not bad. Oh yeah, Korean men are crazy popular among women right now.
Luck club type situation, like that does happen. So I guess,
really, even Eddie, what are you attracted to? Are you attracted to Asian women then? Boy, you dog, right? You gotta get yourself an Asian woman then.
I guess it's 2 different types of trauma. One is you're in a combatant in the game, but you have your heart ripped out at the last moment, and one you couldn't even get into the MMA. You stuck fighting in B League.
There's also like a FOMO around not being in the game. Do you see the situation being like a little bit better in places like New York? Because obviously there's more women than men. And
for sure,
everybody who I have known, who's gone to New York would just they just get into a candy shop.
Yeah, I agree. But a lot of people don't understand that. Like, New York is not America. Like, I dated a girl that looks white in New York, but her mom was like a white Uruguayan and her dad was white.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like she was white, but she really wasn't white. She spoke Spanish, ate a lot of Latino foods. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that really is you're essentially outside of the Anglosphere when you're in New York City, because it's like such a collective.
Yo, Evo Eddie, that is exactly, I love that. White women are equal too crazy. Black women equal too masculine. I definitely agree. Anyone non-304. Big bars. I love that. Exactly. Guys, please like the live stream. Please like the live stream. It helps me out.
Of people from around the world. So I think that I never count that. Like, I don't like it when Asian guys date like a girl that they don't visually look like they should be dating. And then they're like, oh yeah, Asian guys have it good. I'm like, nah, because I lived in a really white, like, Americana zone. And then I lived in Manhattan. Yes, to your point, is dope for a guy who can figure it out or be cool or whatever, but it's not representative of the larger game map.
Right,
Do you know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
Like, I guess what I'm saying, it's such an international place. It's almost like saying, like, is dating in Shanghai representative of dating in some village in China?
Yeah. I guess, if you do move to San Francisco, then it's like the other way around, right? It's like these people have like no luck because the discrepancy is just so big. I agree with you. I think that like, I think a lot of people are like not necessarily trauma. It's just like they don't really have the trauma of I learned something in the relationship, because like I think relationships is something that you got to practice, right? Like every single breakup, single date teaches you something about yourself. And then over time, you get better at it. You also get more considerate and whatever towards another person. But if a man never even played that game, like how can they even get better? So it's like if you're looking at a person who's like 45 years old and only got like a one relationship, like they're probably really bad at this, right? Like, I don't know. I'm just stereotyping that. So like, I don't know, like trauma aside, I think it's just one of those things where like the later you get into the game, that, the worse you probably play it too. So, there's like accumulative layers of trauma as you go.
Yeah. What, I guess answer your question, to sum it all up, what type of trauma are we talking about? Asian girls are going to have a ton of repetitions.
Yeah.
We call them reps in basketball, like a ton of reps.
Yeah.
But some of those reps could have went downside on them. But Asian guys, the trauma comes from like, I wanted to get reps, but maybe I didn't even get the reps that I wanted in practice. Like I didn't even get in the game.
Yeah, for sure. I gotta say, I did see some statistics like yesterday, a white girl talking about, girl versus like possible bro. And she said that on average, I think like an American girl, and this is like race aside, would have about 7 sexual partner by the age of 30. But then like a lot of men will have 0 by the age of 30. So, I mean, that's kind of the discrepancy we're talking about, even race aside, right? This is just how it is, like the age that we're living right now in the US at least.
Yeah, I think it's just whatever's happening in the Western world, specifically America with dating, is like there's like a macro thing, and then there's micro slipstream trends within that. That's like Asian men's overall status improving, but then all men may be struggling as a general title boat thing. So there's a lot of competing trends, micro trends versus macro trends. Why do you think high achieving Asian women are actually less dateable in the marketplace? Like, whether we're talking about Asia or America. I mean, I heard American women complain about this to some extent, but obviously you're living in Shanghai and you see it a lot more. I think it might even be more stark in the East.
Yeah, it's interesting because
So he said, why are Asian women, having a hard time in the dating market? Feminism. We don't talk enough how feminism promotes unhealthy mindset, right? Feminism promotes you can have it all, right? If he doesn't give you it, if he's not perfect, wait, right? Wait. If he's not perfect, go look elsewhere. Feminisms indoctrinate women that they can have it all. That's the poison of feminism. You can be a career woman. You can find a highly ambitious, wealthy ass man who's like 6 foot and above, who's extremely good looking, who will, cook and clean for you, who will be an amazing dad, right? You can have it all. That's the worst thing to teach anyone, that you can have it all, right? That there is always a perfect man out there for you. There's always someone perfect for you. That is the poison, right? And never talks about you, right? As the woman, feminism doesn't ever hold you accountable. Feminism doesn't ever hold a mirror to you. Feminism holds a mirror to men, right? Feminism, right, gives you a fucking, what is it? A circus mirror, right? A fucking deluded, weird ass mirror, right? To you. So you can see the delusion. So you can, be deluded yourself. That's what feminism does to you, right? And that is why you see Asian women suffering, particularly in China, particularly in, other nations, because of that delusion, right? Women think that they can have it all. Women don't want to, struggle love, right? Women don't want struggle love, right? Fine, I get it. But again, life is a struggle. Life isn't easy. For the majority of people, life will always be a struggle. What you hope when you get a relationship, it will be less of a struggle. That is it, right?
Usually live in Singapore. I'm in Shanghai for a month. So it's almost like I'm having this like separate pocket for Shanghai
Whiskey, what is up, my brother?
and like Singapore, right? And they are surprisingly different. We're talking about this high achieving thing because Singaporean women are not notorious, but they're famous for their high achieving attitude, right? There's one thing about Singapore because like guys need to go to army. So like when a guy starts their career, they're 2 years behind their female counterpart because the woman does not need to go to the army. So you can see like 2 years of professional experience will make the women even more.
The disparity, right? You want to be equal to men? Yet society does not allow that. And you think that, misogyny, right? Patriarchy. Well, fucking men suffer more under patriarchy than women, in my opinion.
Like intimidating, right? Career wise to like a man. And so a lot of Singaporeans are like super high achieving. And I don't think that they have the same kind of problem as the girl here in Shanghai. Like, it's just insane how, so like, we're talking about the marketplace in, the People Square, right? Like the dating corner. And a lot of these bios are actually from women. More of them are from women than a guy. And I think the reason is that they're just very competitive, right? They're competing with men instead of like complimenting the men. So a lot of traditional Chinese men, right? They still want agreeable, domesticated, submissive girls. And these girls, because they're gonna be very kind of aggressive and like ambitious in their career, they don't really have that like kind of femininity anymore. And they're
the masculinity of feminism right there. The masculinity of feminism, right? That is thanks to feminism. Feminism promotes, they propagate, the narrative of feminism, right? The poisoning of feminism. You need to be a man. That's feminism for you. You need to be a man because you need to compete with men, right? You need to compete with men for power. That is feminism right there. That is feminism in a nutshell. You must compete with men so you can gain power, so you can gain equality to men, right? So you can be equal, if not better than men. You need to gain power. So you need the masculinity of men. That's how ambitious men, right, can strive to the top, like hyper masculinity. So women need to that, right? Women need to gain that. So they fucking become the men that they want. This is why I've said, right? Any woman, right? Any woman that pretty much wants to date herself, red flag. Because she has became herself, right? She has become the very man she wants to date. All the betas out there, do you want to date men? Do you want to date men or you want to date women?
rewarded for that in their careers. So it's like you got to pick and choose who you want to be, right? You're either this person in your career, this one that got rewarded by your career, or you become something completely different, which may or may not get rewarded by this man, because like dating is risky, right? So I think a lot of them, they kind of run the ROI subconsciously and they have made their bet. Versus in Singapore, I think that the men are just more accommodating in general. So they actually don't mind, like the woman taking the lead a little bit.
Yeah, maybe in Singapore too, they're kind of stuck. Like you can't really, there's no countryside. You can't get a hot girl from the countryside in Singapore. Like there is a limited population. There's only 3 million, maybe 4 million people in the whole country. Like in China, there's 1.4 billion. Like you can go to Anhui, get a baddie that's feminine, I'm not sure exactly, but yeah, I could see like Shanghainese, like high achieving women just being so
Here's the thing, right? If women are fine with men, like if women are fine with taking the lead, this is the problem, right? It's like men are very adaptable. Right? Women love to, shit on men like for this, right? But men are very adaptable, right? You want to take the lead? Fucking go for it, right? You want to be the provider of the relationship? Go for it, right? The problem isn't that, men adapting. The problem is that women women want the best of everything, right? Women want to be able to provide, yet they want you to provide as well, right? Women want to lead, but they want you to lead as well, right? That is the problem. That is the problem with women's mindset. Men can adapt. Men can adapt. You want men to be stay-at-home moms or stay-at-home fathers? Men can adapt to that shit. The problem is that women won't accept it, right? Women don't want that adaptation. Women want to build a man. Women want to build a insane, crazy-ass fucking man.
Demanding that it's just like crushing for any guy that hits their standard, you know? Because guys that hit their standard, we also got a lot of options and they just don't want to adapt to like because, you know, like we were talking.
A lot of red pill logic here. Exactly, right? Men that hit women's standards, right? Women's in general standard, he has a lot of options, right? The problem is, are you, right? Are you, as the women, going to, you know, cater to him? Because he's the one who has the options, not you. You don't have the options of men you want. He has the options of women he wants.
Talking about earlier is like, I think a lot of Chinese girls in the one child policy in China is raised like men, you know, like because the dad have to put the mental testosterone in them too, because he's not going to have a son. So it has to be the heir to the empire, whatever mini empire every family, you know, accumulates. So it's like the woman is raised by the mom like a woman, but raised by the man like the father like a son. So I think that it's very difficult because like that the son side probably helps them achieve in their career or like rise up that like MBA style, you know, like lateral, you know what I mean? Like a little jumping up and stuff, but it's not feminine for what that guy wants to be like coming home to every day.
But that's the thing where I said, right? Women that are career women, accept it. Be single, or I don't know. They're not going to lower their standards, right? They're not going to lower their standards. Then just, I don't know, fucking just focus on your career, right? I mean, I always find it delusional, right? That career women, right? Women that are hyper masculine, women that are very competitive, women that are masculine, career women, they also want to be the feminine woman, or they also want a husband that will be their whatever, that meet their whole fucking crazy ass standards. You're deluded.
No, they don't. They actually, I think that because they have such a high standard for themselves, they tend to like look down upon men who don't necessarily have the same standard or higher than them, right, towards themselves. So it's like they're literally measuring themselves and the man with the same ruler, right? These women are not complementary to men. They're more competitive with men. And that's why they have such a big problem in the dating market where they're supposed to be complementary towards each other.
Yeah. I remember I knew this girl in Beijing and her parents like owned like a chemical company, and she had so many demands of her husband, like had to be stay at home in Beijing. You know, she got to go for these big trips all the time to like go to conferences and stuff like that. She just ended up with like a nice, sweet beta, like half white guy, you know?
Yeah.
Because like a white guy is more likely to like accept this positioning with like a power female, and then he can provide softness and the emotional support. But if she wants another Chinese alpha, first of all, that hits her physical standards, he's not going to want to put up with the demands. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't see.
Yeah. I see that all the time.
Yeah. Just get the beta white guy or part white guy. That's the solution, to be honest. Like
that is a solution. Okay. So the next question for,
we said on this side, right? This side, we talk about it all the time, right? The beta male. Women will, he is clearly red pilled. Exactly. You know, we say this all the time, right? We say this all the time. Women will choose the path that they chose, right? And they will settle for the beta male. So, you know, I don't feel sad for beta males, right? I don't feel sad for the beta males. I don't, because that's the mindset, right? You don't have the strength to be a better man, right? You don't have the strength to be, you know, more, you know, a leadership, or, you know, fucking, have standards yourself. So you are the man that settles for, right? You are the, like I've said this before, the beta males are what women settle for. You have no right to complain As a beta male, you have no right to complain because you allow women to settle for you.
For you is, why does Asian male market value go up when they leave America, but Asian women does not change the same way?
Obviously, when Asian guys go to Asia, they're in a patriarchal society. It's been that way for thousands of years. Asian men run Asia, to be honest, like for the most part. I think outside of Thailand and maybe Japan now, those are the only two countries that had the female prime minister. I think South Korea did as well, but her dad was the prime minister. Obviously, in the white world, I think that Asian women, that's their best play, you know, like because they're going to be able to play the Asian female card, which is desirable, the female card, which is having a moment, you know, obviously since the feminist movement in the 70s. And there's just a lot more benefits, I think, to being an Asian female in the West than an Asian female in the East. And there's a lot of benefits to being an Asian guy in the East, where there's a lot of disadvantages to being an Asian male in the West. I mean, it's
just what makes you high value, right? Asian women have the exotic nature, right? Or the preconceived stereotypes. Okay. That's why they have benefits in the West. Asian men have none, right? Asian men are hurt by the stereotypes and he has no real benefits, right? Asian men in society, right? Society, there's no beneficial narrative. There's no beneficial narrative for Asian men. Now, it is slowly getting better and better, right? Because, you know, K-pop or, you know, K-drama, shit like that. It's slowly getting better, but still, you know, it's not like it's a 180. While Asian men in the West going to the East, he has that narrative where he's one, you know, he's a Westerner, right? He's a Westerner. So he's either has the American passport, which is very valuable, and he makes American money. He makes Western money, right? The Western dollar goes a whole lot more, right, in the East than it does in the West, right? So that's valuable. So
as easy as like who runs the respective hemispheres. So I meet a lot of Asian guys that are in Asia for like 10, 15, 20 years. You know what I mean? But I don't meet a lot of Asian girls that West. Like I would say like it's like 10-1 on the expat level. Like I'm sure even in Shanghai, feminine, like female coded city with the manor coffees and everything. But like it's even then I would imagine it's like maybe 8-1. Like I think females feel more comfortable moving to Shanghai than like Ho Chi Minh or something. You know what I mean? Like Bangkok or something like that. Just like hype male centric. Yeah. Like I just think that the volume of expats is so heavily weighted on Asian American males than Asian American females.
Yeah, I would say, you know, that's definitely a problem in the expat community here in Asia, right? Because it's funny because I'm an expat in Singapore, but I'm a local here in China. It doesn't matter whether you're an Asian girl or you're a white girl. Actually, a white girl struggles even more in the Singapore expat community just because a lot of Asian men still prefer Asian women. So like, you know, if you're like a white girl in Singapore, like if you break up with a white guy, and a white guy has a lot more options in Singapore, right?
You also have to think, right? A white girl that came to Asia, it doesn't mean that she became more feminine, right? Yeah, maybe she's more exotic, but again, there's a reason why women in the West, right? Women in America are suffering. Fucking attitude, right? Fucking mindset, right? It's who they are inside that makes them undesirable, right? It's that feminist nature. I'm sorry. Most Western women have a feminist nature. I believe, in my opinion, it's 90%, right? 80 to 90% of Western women have the feminist nature in them. It makes them undesirable. You think you go into Asia, you become more feminine now? You become more domestic? Fuck that. Asian men in Asia wants a domesticated woman, right? He wants a woman that's domesticated. Plain and simple.
You know, comparison to white girls, like they really struggle in their personal life. And it's the same thing here. I remember one of my friends, she said that like everything was good in Shanghai except for dating, because dating was really tough for her.
For sure. I think Asian girls, man,
most women say everything is good except dating. Everywhere. Even in America, even in the UK, even everywhere, okay? Women will say that everything is good except for dating. You have to understand why. You are a terrible partner. You will be a terrible person to date. That is why everything else is good besides dating.
Knew it was like this one since I was a kid because I knew some girls that was in college and they took their like college trip and they will always pick Europe like every time. And then Asian guys was always taking their college trip back to Asia. So it was just right there.
That
like,
is so funny.
You could see that. That was in my undergrad. I saw that when I was like 21.
Yeah, that is so funny because now you mention it, I see it, but like I never thought that was a reason. Like I never thought why.
Yeah, I mean, who are they hooking up with on those trips?
That's true.
To be real.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go to the provincial and local stereotypes. And I'm going to start with the north, south, east, because I did a little bit of research with DeepSeek just to see what DeepSeek has to say about the stereotypes. So DeepSeek said for south is interdependent and holistic. And, south meaning Fujian and Guangdong province, right? They're practical, pragmatic, and business savvy, often stereotyped as cunning, shrewd, or deceptive, but also more interdependent and loyal to their in-group. And it says for east, which is, we're talking about the Shanghai area, Jiangsu, Zhejiang, Shanghai. So it says we're more shrewd, wealthy, cosmopolitan, coastal elites. Basically, people are very adept at business, living in fast-paced international environments, but they're also very calculating, materialistic, and perhaps a little bit aloof towards those from inland or less developed region. The north are, they're more insulated. So they're thought to be more direct, individualistic, and analytical, similar to Westerners, according to DeepSeek. I did not know that. Traits are often linked to a history of wheat farming, which requires less intense cooperation than right between different provinces.
Theory that like America is actually low key 11 different Americas. There's like Yankee America, there's like Appalachian America, and all these like different civilizational theories. And in America, we don't know the differences either. I think in China, just the provincial things have been that way for like so many hundreds or thousands of years that people feel more comfortable speaking on it. You know what I mean? I have grandparents from Shanghai, I have grandparents from Shandong. So they all act different. And what they will talk about is different too. Like people from the north, they do care more about like China as like a governmental or like a civilizational like nations. Hangzhou, Su, I feel like they're into really art. You know what I mean? Like Tiantang or the poems and all the things. People from Guangdong.
The Song Dynasty.
Yeah. And that's considered a good dynasty too, right? And then like the Guangdong has never been more outward facing and less inward facing. Like, Cantonese people didn't control a lot of mainland Chinese history. They've always been their own thing. And they're, if any, brain, and it affects the brain of the second generation kids born in America.
So I know that your mom was from Shandong and your dad is like Hong Kong, like Canton-ish, right? So like, how did that affect you growing up?
I mean, I think I just had access to different worlds, like on the Mandarin side, when people hear you're from Shandong, they like it. They're like, oh.
Really?
If you're from like Shandong, and for the old people that care about this old stuff, it means something, And when you say you're from Guangdong, it's usually in mainland, they'll be like, it's not that. It's like, you know what I mean? But like, but if you're Cantonese, then money rather than the Chinese narrative. I'm not saying 100 out of 100, but like they're more focused on the clan and what they're doing than what's happening with everybody. In the north, the northern Chinese, they concerned with what's happening with like the country. Like, is China doing good? Almost sometimes they could their family bloodline, like, but that's why they get rich too. So it's really like, how do you say what's right or what's wrong?
Yeah. I think that like, it's very fascinating to me, at least, that I did not know that Fujianese people have like
I'm a full Viet. I'm Vietnamese. Mom, dad, Viet, all the way. My dad's side's, while half Vietnamese, half Filipino, right? From your dad's side, while your mom is Korean and Russian. That's interesting. So you have a bit of Korean, have a bit of Russian, have a bit of Filipino. That's unique, my brother. That's unique.
Specific stereotype about them, especially in America, where like it seems like they wrong flushing, right?
Like the Wenzhou people.
Yeah. So like Wenzhou are, because strange Zhejiang people, because they're just like the Jewish of our province. And they will go to a random European country and they will do a small business. they don't necessarily do huge businesses. They really love their autonomy, and they don't really care whether it's a bit of nowhere country or a mainstream country. All they see is opportunities. So I think that maybe for that is very similar to Fujianese people. So why do you think that Fujianese people dominate the overseas Chinese business globally? They run factories and restaurants.
I mean, yeah, I think it depends on what sub-region of Fujian you're from. Go get to the money. You know what I mean? Like whether by any means necessary, they're going to get to the private equity within themselves. But like not every Chinese province is able to run that. Like I don't think Hainan people or like Guangzhou people or like Guangxi people when they went
Really? That is funny. I love that.
to Southeast Asia was able to run that internal like Hui system, like internal lending, because it requires quite a bit of cohesiveness and checks and balances. But like Wenzhou people, Hokkien people, and Diezhou people, they are able to run that tight knitness because they still like, you know, they feel very clannish and very, you know what I mean? Like to run that type of system, you have to trust everybody because you're
power. I mean, I have definitely seen like, you know, actually a friend of mine. So he is Italian American and he's dating a girl who's Fujianese American from Flushing, whose, you know, family run like a few restaurants. I was like, man, maybe they don't look the same on the surface, but I'm pretty sure like they have shared a lot of things in common.
Yeah, their families matter a lot too. Like they're always like, yo, my grandma doesn't like you. My, you know, Nana doesn't like you. Like you hear Fujianese people say that all the time too. Like my mom thinks this about your mom or something. Like no other, I never heard other Chinese people like talk mafia like that. New York FJs, to be honest.
So I mean, like, but why are they all like? It seems like they have a huge presence in Flushing and like in this like restaurant industry.
They just got the Hui, man. They just run the system tight. Like there's a lot of plans. Like I don't even want to get into it too much. I got a friend who broke it all down to me, who's deep on the inside. But like I don't want to blow anybody's cover. But they just it moves different because I've been in the Cantonese community.
Yeah,
the Cantonese community, they don't even trust each other to run schemes or run plans or complicated structures, or Canto people don't even trust each other to like take out the garbage, to be honest, like, let alone like run like a informal.
It's all tax evasion. Asian people do a whole lot of tax evasion. I'm like, it's just between me and you guys, right? This is just between us, right? The family here, right? Asian people do a whole lot of tax evasion. They cook the books, right? They do a whole lot of underhanded you know, payments and salaries and shit like that. So that's how they can get that money like that.
Why?
It's because Cantonese people are very different. You know, you could be from like Zhongshan, like Toisan, Jiangmen, you know what I mean? Like people aren't going to fully like, they all.
I say this, right? People can't escape. They can't escape red pill. I'm sorry. As much as people want to do it, right? People are trying their best not to let men's content go mainstream, right? People are trying their best. But you can't escape it, right? Red pill is reality, right? Because you can't escape reality. Tax evasion is elite maxing, definitely. That's how you do it, right? That's how you do it. Like, I'm not gonna go deep into it because again, I don't want to, you know, say a whole lot of secrets and shit because I do know a lot of shit, right? But yeah, Asian people are shady.
Speak Canto, but
shady for, you know, I don't know, shady for a good reason, right? That's how they provide for their family, provide for other people's family, because Asian people will help out other families. 100%. Asian people help out their community. They help out their community. They help bring other people from, you know, their country into America, into the West, right? So they help out a lot of people.
Their grandparents or great-grandparents probably spoke like a different mountain dialect. They're just not that cohesive because I think Cantonese is a lingua franca. Hokkien, Diezhou, part of the tribe.
Yeah.
So they just run like I said, any tight-knit group globally, I'll tell you this, if you're from a non-tight-knit group, you don't understand how the tight-knit groups operate internally. They can run any scheme.
I don't.
You'll never know about it.
I mean, am I missing out?
Yeah, if you're not from a tight-knit group, like that's why you got to be a normie and like rise up and get like all these degrees and like, you know what I mean? Because I know people who like everything they did was outside of the public eye and their family have like $30 million USD. and nobody
Yeah.
knew what the hell they did their whole life. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause think about it. If you got to
that's
get these
true.
degrees from
Yeah.
Harvard, and then you got to work your way into Anthropic or OpenAI or, you know, whatever is the next booming company.
Institutional Fujianese people in the Philippines. So how do you explain?
How different it is. If you're from a non-tight-knit group, you don't just want to build some empires, you know?
Mhm.
Do you think this Eastern
Yeah, I mean, you gotta learn it. You gotta learn how to do that too.
coastal stereotype of Chinese elitism in the Hangzhou, Suzhou, Shanghai area is justified? Or like, where does it come from? Because it is an internal Chinese stereotype that the Jiangzhou region is like all full of like cocky elitists.
Well, I think there's definitely some truth to it. And just some statistics, right, before we talk about the substance. So these areas, we're talking about 2 provinces and 1 city. So 2 adjacent provinces for the next action. So I think that it's definitely justified. And I'm not saying that this attitude is good, because it does give you like a very silo point of view about what China is. And another thing I noticed about these group of people, and I'm not sure if
I think they're now just talking about I guess Chinese people as a whole. I thought they were going to talk more about dating. I think they're done with that. But what do you guys think? I thought it was interesting, right? I think it was interesting a bit. A little bit of a change of pace. I don't talk about, a whole lot of Asian, because there's not a whole lot of good Asian content to react to, right? So I don't know. I don't really yeah. There's not a lot of good Asian content to react to. So, once in a while I find something. It's just the whole thing wasn't that good, right? Towards the end, they start talking about more Chinese oriented shit instead of just Asian people shit, Asian dating. So, what do you guys think? Guys, that is it. That is it for tonight. Yes, the government does cheat, right? But here's the thing, right? The government cheats, they don't allow you to. That's the crazy shit, right? The government cheats, but they don't allow you to. So that's why you gotta take the risk. You gotta take the risk. Ethan, I love you, my brother. Thank you for being here. Whiskey, I love you. Evil Eddie, if you're still here, I love you, my brother. Thank you for being here. You guys are amazing. Big Bars, I love you. Laughing Man, Red Door. Alan was here. Zyrax was here. I love you. Love you guys. You guys are amazing. All right. Thank you guys for all being here. Thank you for checking out my live. Right. I said this already. Tomorrow, I'm gonna try to stream UFC tomorrow. Right. I'm gonna try to stream the UFC tomorrow on Discord. Right. Just with the family, right? So if you guys want to watch some MMA together, right? Join the Discord. We'll watch it together. Won't be streaming it on any other platform, right? Because don't want to be don't have a strike against me. But yeah, if you guys want to watch UFC together, join the Discord, right? We'll be watching it tomorrow. Hopefully it goes well, right? Because I haven't done it before. I haven't streamed on Discord before, so we'll see how it goes. But yes, that is it. Please check out my other videos. Check out my YouTube shorts, right? I'm not posting a whole lot of bigger videos on the main part because YouTube demonetized me for a bit. So I'm posting more YouTube shorts for a little bit because it's just posting things on TikTok and putting it over on YouTube. But yes, please check those out. But yes, that is it, guys. I love you. Later. Eventually see the sun. Talk loud.